Tonight, an arrest has been made involving the on-campus robbery.
Plus, a special playground is being built in Troy. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the High Definition Digital Production Center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for February 8, 2013. I'm Courtney Addison.
And I'm Rachel Scarborough. Thanks for joining us this evening. An arrest has been made in Monday's armed robbery of a Troy student on campus. A 14-year-old has been arrested and charged with robbery first degree in connection with an armed robbery that occurred late Monday night near Alumni Hall on campus. The juvenile is currently being held in the Juvenile Detention Center at the Troy City Jail. Because of the juvenile status of the suspect, his name is not being released by law enforcement. 2 additional suspects still at large, and the case remains under investigation by police.
Over 200 students from around the United States were on Troy University's campus today pursuing and learning about leadership opportunities. Bailey Majors shows us more.
Friday, Troy University played host to its 12th annual Excellence in Leadership Scholarship Day, where high school seniors preparing to attend Troy in the fall were able to learn about how to get involved on campus and interview for a leadership scholarship.
We've had a long history of recognizing leadership at the high school senior level. This is just a rich tradition and a continuation of recognizing some outstanding leaders in high school.
While attending Leadership Scholarship Day, the incoming freshmen were able to hear from current Troy University students and faculty about campus involvement and the importance of being a leader.
It's just very important to come learn and figure out who you are and learn that you can stand out and lead on campus. And I feel like college, and when you're in your college age, that's the time to figure that out. That's the time for you to figure out who you are and where you can stand out and lead.
Dean Starling says he thinks it's important for students to pursue leadership opportunities and that Troy University is able to prepare students to become good leaders.
We're serious about leadership. We want to equip young people with the leadership they're going to need to lead organizations.
Students and faculty say they look forward to a new group of students starting at Troy University and are excited for the different leadership opportunities the campus offers.
I didn't know they had that many activities for everyone to be involved in, and so I think there will be a lot to do. It's really important to put yourself out there and help others, to get involved, to get to know people.
There's nothing more exciting than bringing a new class of freshmen to a campus, and we just expect that the university is opening its arms to them and showing them their best.
Bailey Majors, Troy TrojanVision News.
For information on leadership opportunities at Troy University, contact Leadership Development at leadership@troy.edu or visit their office located in Smith Hall, room 206.
2 years ago, Troy Parks and Recreation built a miracle field to benefit the area's handicapped ball players. Well, now they are looking for another miracle to allow children of any ability to have some fun. Kayla Magoo has the story.
We can all remember good times spent playing at a park with family. For children with special needs in the Troy community, the vision of a safe playing environment is underway. Troy Parks and Recreation is now in the planning stages of building a new park with a Miracle League playground being its focal point. This project comes only 2 years after the Miracle League baseball field was installed.
It will be a public park, free and open to the public at all times. It won't be a playground just for special needs or a playground, a traditional playground where special needs children have obstacles. This will allow children of all abilities to play side by side.
Some of the components of the Miracle League field, such as the rubberized surface, will also be put into the new playground.
It will include wheelchair-accessible equipment and interactive stations designed with children who have autism in mind. This project is going to cost about $200,000 to build, and so far, Troy Parks and Recreation are halfway there. But they're calling on local businesses, churches, organizations, and individuals to help, saying every dollar contributed is important.
That $80,000 is, we're going to work very hard, and we're going to need every man, woman, and child of Troy to support this and participate.
It may not look like much now, but in a few months, this open field will be transformed into a new, safe playing environment for the children of the Troy community.
We know that this is a very safe environment where we're at now, and we know that this park will be a family park, and we hope that it will continue to grow to be the largest park in Troy.
Kayla Magoo, Troy TrojanVision News.
If anyone is interested in making a donation to the Miracle Playground Project, they can contact the Recreation Department via email at troyrecreation@troycable.net or simply visit the Rec Center facility at 601 Enzer Road in Troy.
Troy University's Library Services is trying to help students write better papers and avoid getting in trouble in the process. The library is holding a series of plagiarism workshops over the next few weeks. The purpose of the workshops is to teach the students how to properly use and cite sources when writing a paper so they can avoid bad grades and possible academic punishment that can result from plagiarism.
Well, it's been a difficult problem with international students as well as our students, that they don't seem to understand exactly what plagiarism is, and the workshop is to help them understand what plagiarism is and how not to do it, because if you plagiarize,
The workshop will be Tuesday, February 19th at 1:30 in Wallace Hall, room 311.
And now taking a look at news from around the state. In Mobile, a judge has dismissed a family's lawsuit against the University of South Alabama over a campus police officer's fatal shooting of a naked student. A Mobile County judge ruled today that the state law makes the school exempt from the wrongful death lawsuit filed by the parents of 18-year-old freshman Gil Collar. The judge says the lawsuit can go forward against the university's police chief, however. The family is also suing the officer who fired the fatal shot.
And in Tuscaloosa, officials with automaker Mercedes-Benz say they plan to add a totally new sport utility vehicle model to its production line in Alabama. The new model will likely be added in 2015. The chairman of the company's parent firm told shareholders this week that the fifth model destined for Mercedes sold in the U.S. auto assembly would be an SUV.
And in Montgomery, some Alabama legislators are trying to start planning now for the state's bicentennial in 2019. Republican Senator Arthur Orr of Decatur got the Senate to pass a resolution Thursday setting up the Alabama Bicentennial Commission. The commission would plan and develop activities to celebrate Alabama becoming a state in 1819.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the softball season kicked off today in Mississippi. Justin McNally will let you know how that game went coming up in sports.
But first, a manhunt continues for a former police officer accused of murdering 3 people. We'll have that story and more after the break.
Law enforcement agencies across Southern California are on a massive manhunt for a former cop accused of murder. I'm Big Ad in Los Angeles. We'll have the latest coming up.
When you're finished with your food or beverage cartons, toss it in the recycling bin. Because every carton is recyclable and can be turned into useful paper products. When the contents are gone, let the carton live on. Recycle your cartons.
It's not over. Japan still needs our help. This is not yesterday's news. It's happening now. Let's help.
I decided I wanted to go back to graduate school. And I was looking for a college that would be able to accommodate shift work and family life, and the Troy schedule fit in very well with my lifestyle.
On campus or online, Troy offers you in-demand degrees sought after by the law enforcement community. Troy University. It's all you need to know.
My name is Stephanie Birch. I'm a Deputy Chief of Police, and having that degree from Troy is what allowed me to be who I am today.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we go to Courtney Addison at the Global News Desk. Courtney?
Thanks, Rachel. More than 100 police officers are searching a mountain ski town in Southern California, searching for a former LAPD officer wanted for 3 murders. Big Ouch Band has the latest from Los Angeles.
Police are checking cars in a snowstorm east of Los Angeles for accused killer Christopher Dorner. His burned-out pickup truck was found in the Big Bear area on Thursday. SWAT teams are using snowcats to reach remote areas.
It's about 8 square miles is what we're searching. There's about 200 empty cabins that we're going to check one by one using our SWAT guys.
The former LAPD officer and Navy reservist is wanted for murdering 3 people, including 1 police officer. In a rambling manifesto posted online, Dorner declared war on law enforcement.
It's extremely dangerous. I explained to them to be very careful, but our folks are highly trained.
The LAPD fired Dorner in 2008. He accused a fellow officer of using excessive force in the field, but the department ruled Dorner was lying. Police say Dorner's first victims were Monica Kwan and her fiancé. She's the daughter of the LAPD officer who represented Dorner during his disciplinary hearings. Authorities are now guarding dozens of potential targets listed on Dorner's manifesto. They are not certain the 33-year-old suspect is still in the Big Bear area and admit the burned-out truck could be an elaborate diversion or a trap. Bigat Shaban, CBS News, Los Angeles.
New York City is under a blizzard warning. The Big Apple could see upwards of a foot of snow or more, but that won't slow down the city that never sleeps. Randall Pinkston is in Manhattan with the latest from there.
Wet snow and sleet are creating a midday mess in Manhattan as the Big Apple waits for what could be a foot of snow or more.
6 to 10, I think, a pretty good estimate, and then 10 to 15 in and around the city right on that line.
New York City plows and salt trucks are armed and ready to clear the city's almost 6,000 miles of roads. The storm will also bring higher tides.
Many of the same communities that were inundated by Hurricane Sandy's tidal surge just about 100 days ago are likely to see some moderate coastal flooding this evening.
Many New Yorkers are trying to leave work early, hoping to get home before the blizzard arrives. And then there are the tourists, stuck in the storm, looking for a good time. Doug Watkins and his wife flew in from Charlotte, North Carolina. Canceled flights kept some family members from joining them, but they've got plans.
We've got tickets for a show tonight, so we're hoping we can make it over there and back, and maybe walking through snow, but...
You think the show is going to go on?
Well, we're hopeful. We haven't heard otherwise yet, so...
Jeffrey and Tracy Young are here from Connecticut, which is expected to get even more snow.
We're down here for a show, and we had non-refundable tickets, and so...
You're the second person I've met who said they're here for a show. Now, there's supposed to be a blizzard tonight. What are you hearing? Is the show going to go on?
I hope so. The show always goes on, right?
Even if the theaters close, the blizzard and the city should put on quite a show of their own. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, New York.
New research is looking into a rare and often deadly condition that strikes mostly young, healthy women. It's called spontaneous coronary artery dissection, or SCAD. Allison Harmeline introduces us to a woman who survived her SCAD heart attack.
Chef Rachel Willen has appeared on TV cooking shows and writes a food blog. She's also a heart attack survivor.
It started to sort of travel very quickly up my throat and into my jaw.
Willen was 56 with no history of heart disease. It turned out she had SCAD, or spontaneous coronary artery dissection. An artery near the heart tears, blocking blood flow in and around the heart, causing a heart attack. Researchers say the condition is not common, affecting mostly young, healthy women, and is highly underdiagnosed.
About 70% of the cases, or maybe greater, are women. And of those women, about 30% are in the few weeks to months after giving birth.
Researchers at the Mayo Clinic have started the first major study of the condition, and while doctors don't know exactly what causes SCAD or how to treat it, they do know that up to 20% of patients who have had one SCAD episode will have another.
The study came about after a group of SCAD survivors found each other in an online community and asked the Mayo Clinic for help.
Hormones are a very high level of interest and likely contribute to the cause of SCAD, but we don't understand the mechanism.
Willen took part in the study, hoping it will lead to answers. Her brush with death has inspired her to live life to the fullest.
These are my mottos for living now. Live on the edge and take a whisk.
She continues to eat right and exercise and hopes it doesn't happen again. Allison Harmeline for CBS News, New York.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, such as how London Underground celebrated its 150th birthday, you can tune in to Trojan Vision Global News right after the nightly news. Now back to you, Rachel.
Thank you, Courtney. And now Justin McNally joins us with sports. So, Justin, softball season officially kicked off today.
That's right. The softball team is in Mississippi right now, getting their season underway. They got some more games coming up tomorrow, though, along with men's and women's basketball. And even the tennis team has some matches this weekend. So I'll get to that and more here in sports. And Emil Jones had a career night, but it wasn't enough to help the Trojan men's basketball team defeat South Alabama last night in Mobile. It was a close one, but the Trojans failed the Jaguars 65-62. Jones led the Trojans with a career-high 21 points. Troy shot 39% from the field and 24% from behind the arc. The Jaguars were 18 of 43 from the field and 5 of 6 from deep. The Trojans were out-rebounded by the Jaguars 35-28. And after a tough loss last night, it doesn't get any easier for Troy as they stay on the road to face the top team in the Sun Belt. Troy takes on Middle Tennessee on Saturday. The Blue Raiders are 21-4 overall and 13-1 in conference play. The Trojans' last win against Middle Tennessee came on February 17, 2011. The Trojans now travel to Murfreesboro, Tennessee to face the top team in the Sun Belt, Middle Tennessee, at 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. And after a tough road loss to South Alabama on Wednesday, the women's basketball team is hoping to rebound when they take on the Lady Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee. Sunday, the Trojans will take on Middle Tennessee with tip-off at 2 o'clock. The Blue Raiders are not only good in the men's side, but also the women's. They lead the East Division of the conference and only have one conference loss this season as well. Middle Tennessee State is on a 12-game winning streak, meaning the Trojans will have their work cut out for them in Murfreesboro. As previously mentioned, the game will tip off at 2 o'clock in Murfreesboro. The Trojans will be looking for their second conference victory of the season, both in their last 3 games. And looking to start the 2013 season off the right way, the softball team did just that and was able to come from behind in a victory and defeat Georgia State by a score of 5-3. Freshman Chandler Griffin batted in 4 of Troy's 5 runs today, and the pitching combo of J.C. Affel and Rachel Rigney were able to silence the bats of the Panthers. Rigney pitched 2 2/3 innings and did not allow a hit. Griffin drove in 2 runs in the top of the third with a 2-out single to left field and gave the Trojans the 2-1 lead. She would add 2 more runs off 2 separate sac flies. And even though the Trojans picked up the victory, head coach Melanie Davis knows that they still have a tough test later on tonight.
In my opinion, there's so many quality ball players out there that every team we face is going to have quality fielders, quality hitters, quality pitching. I do think with Mississippi State being the SEC team, they're going to be a very formidable foe. We're going to be playing that jersey. They're very well coached, have a great coaching staff.
State, Troy will look for their first ever win against the Bulldogs. Saturday, the Trojans have a doubleheader beginning at 11 a.m. against Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, before taking on Tennessee State at 1 o'clock. And it will be another busy weekend for both the tennis teams as the women stay on the road while the men are at home for a big one. The women are in Orlando on Friday as they take on Central Florida. Central Florida is 3-1 with their lone loss coming against top-ranked Florida this year. On Sunday, the women travel to South Carolina to face Furman, which comes in at 1-1 on the young season. Saturday afternoon, the men are at home as they welcome in Southern Miss to the Lunsford Tennis Complex. That match begins at 1 o'clock. And the second class in the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame was announced this week, and 8 former Trojan student athletes, administrators, and coaches will be inducted in April. John Archer, former men's basketball coach, John Doc Anderson, former track and field and cross-country coach, Bobby Insland, Danny Grant, Willie Tullis, and Lawrence Tynes, all former Troy football players, Chan Gailey, former head football coach, Joyce Sorrell, best known as the former head coach of the women's basketball team. These individuals will be inducted into the Troy University Sports Hall of Fame during the T-Club weekend on April 20th. So, Rachel, Courtney, as you can see, it's a big, jam-packed weekend of Troy sports, on the road, here at home. So maybe all the teams can go out there, give their best out on the field or the court, bring home a couple of victories for this coming up weekend.
Yes, we wish all the teams the best of luck this weekend.
That's right, Rachel.
Thank you so much.
Coming up on Troy TrojanVision Nightly News, Aaron Taylor learns how 2 students who will be participating in the Miss Alabama pageant are giving back to the Children's Miracle Network.
But first, today we have seen sunshine and warm temperatures, but will that sunshine last throughout the weekend, Bree?
Looks like that sunshine and those warm temperatures will remain for the weekend, but they may change as we head into next week. I'll have more coming up next.
We depend on our national forests, but now they're depending on us. The Arbor Day Foundation asks for your help in replanting our national forests. Visit arborday.org. See what we're doing. See how you can help.
Some risks are obviously not worth taking. Some aren't as obvious, but could be just as deadly, like the risk for type 2 diabetes. Take the diabetes risk test and stop diabetes before it stops you.
I've been taking classes at Troy Online for years. The staff and the professors, they care about developing me, not just academically, but in my future career. I feel that Troy is preparing me for my next mission.
On campus or online, Troy offers you an extraordinary education that can take you anywhere you want to go. Troy University. It's all you need to know.
I'm John Phillips. I'm an active duty soldier attending school full-time, and I choose Troy.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
Now, Bree Sanders joins us with weather.
So, Bree, earlier this week we saw some rain, and today temperatures have kind of cooled off, but the sun is back out. What can we expect going into our weekend?
Well, the sun did come out today, and it looks like we'll be expecting those picture-perfect conditions as we head through our week, but maybe as Monday comes in our area, it may change. But we can get into that later. Right now, we get into our current conditions. Current conditions in our area right now, we have mostly cloudy skies, temperatures at 62 degrees, dew points at 53 degrees, humidity is at 73%, barometer at 30.05 inches and steady. Winds are coming in from the north-northwest at 12 miles per hour. Today's stats, we had a high today of 66 degrees, a low of 56. There is about 1.29 inches of rain in our area. The sun rises at 6:33 a.m. and it's set at 5:25 p.m. Temperatures around the state. Overall, we're experiencing a mixture of temperatures right now. Mobile coming in at 67, Huntsville at 44, Birmingham at 50, Montgomery at 55, Troy at 62, Phoenix City at 68, and Dothan right there at 56. Temperatures around the southeast on average in our state were right at about 53 degrees here in Birmingham, and as we move throughout the rest of the southeast, those temperatures increase just a little bit right there in South Carolina, right at 63 degrees. Temperatures around the United States. As we take a look at our states as a whole, we have a lot of blue in this area, a lot of cool temperatures going on in the northern parts of the states as well as in the west and some parts of the east coast. Current surface map, we have a few rain systems here coming in through the west. There's a little bit of snow as well, a lot of cold fronts. As we move towards the southeast, however, we can take a look at this cold front that pushed through a few days ago, bringing in those rain conditions, heavy humidity in our area, as well as this cold front pushing through earlier today. So, yes, we have seen cooler temperatures, but those warmer temperatures should be back into our area. Precipitation forecast, over the next 48 hours, we may be experiencing about 1/4 of an inch of rain or so, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Moving into tomorrow, no rain in our area. Like I said, we should have a picture-perfect Saturday ahead of us, but we do see this rain forming in the Texas area. As we close out our weekend on Sunday, that rain gets a little bit heavier and starts pushing towards our state right here, coming in through the western part of Alabama. And on Monday, the rain covers our state as a whole as well as other parts of the southeast, so definitely keep that rain gear on hand with you as we move into next week. And on Tuesday, it looks like the rain gets a little bit heavier in our area right here in Troy, so definitely be on the lookout for that. As we move into tonight's forecast, we have mainly clear skies in our area. Very humid, light winds coming in from the north-northwest at about 8 miles per hour with a low of 35. So tonight may be a little bit cooler than what it was last night, but nevertheless, we shouldn't be worried about any rain in our area, so definitely go out and enjoy your evening. For tomorrow's forecast, we have mainly sunny skies, light winds coming in from the east-northeast at about 7 miles per hour with a high of 66. So tomorrow will be a little bit warmer than today. You can definitely go outside and enjoy that picture-perfect Saturday. As we take a look at our 4-day forecast, moving into Saturday, like I said, the high gets to about 66 degrees with a low of 44. Closing out our weekend on Sunday, the high gets up to 68 degrees, mostly sunny in our area with a low of 61. As we begin our week on Monday, the high remains right there at 68 degrees. We do have that 60% chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms in our area, so definitely be on the lookout for that. The low gets to about 55 degrees, about 20 degrees warmer than what we've been experiencing lately at night. And on Tuesday, the high still remains in the mid-60s, right there at about 65 degrees, 80% chance of rain in our area. So, Courtney, we saw a little bit of rain earlier this week. The sunshine did come back through, and it looks like we'll have a picture-perfect weekend ahead. But maybe sometime next week we may be experiencing a little bit more rain, so just be on the lookout for that.
Exactly, but at least the rain's going to hold off a little bit longer for all the Trojan athletics. The softball team's going to have good luck in Mississippi. Perfect weather and perfect driving conditions to get back to Troy safely.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Bree.
Thank you.